Over the next 3 nights, you're going to meet several courageous women willing to come forward for a new KARE 11 investigation that exposes sexual violence against people who often have nowhere to turn.
A warning for you, this report does discuss sexual assault.
No matter the wrong turns taken, some lines should never be crossed.
I'm handcuffed. I'm in a bathroom stall.
Danielle Civils is telling her survivor story publicly for the first time. It begins in 2015. She ran a stop sign in St. Paul, slamming into another driver. Danielle walked away from the scene. She was convicted of hit and run. Because of that history, she never thought she'd be believed if she spoke up, accusing a man with a badge of rape.
And like, that's exactly what I was afraid of. That's exactly why he didn't say anything.
In 2019, Danielle was booked into jail here in Dallas, Texas for a probation violation. She was loaded into a white passenger van for the cross-country extradition back to Ramsey County Jail in Minnesota. One of the guards, Marquette Johnson.
He was a predator, and I was the prey.
She says the first time was in Oklahoma at a highway rest stop bathroom. Johnson had a gun, Danielle, no choice.
I felt like a scared little girl, and I felt like there was nobody that could help me.
Dropped off at Ramsey County Jail, she kept quiet. She thought her attacker was a deputy, so didn't trust anyone here. She ended up at Shakopee Prison, and Marquette Johnson started contacting her.
He actually emailed me. He sent me photos. He tried to make it seem like it was consensual. He tried to make it seem like he was confused, like that's what I wanted.
Danielle didn't know. The guard wrote notes, like this one given to a Colorado woman, to a lot of female inmates he transported. Women who all have similar stories of rape and abuse. Despite the gun and badge, Marquette Johnson is not law enforcement. He worked for a private for-profit company called Inmate Services Corps, or ISC, headquartered in West Memphis, Arkansas, in this unmarked office space. It's owned by Randy Cagle Jr., who had a long-standing contract with Ramsey County to haul inmates to the jail from around the country for the freight-like rate of $1 per mile. Ramsey's contract with ISC mandates when transporting females, there must be a female guard. But our investigation finds the county did not enforce it.
So they didn't have any female guard along on this trip?
No. No, it was 2 men.
There really is no oversight.
Should there be?
Well, absolutely.
Attorney Paul Applebaum represents Danielle in a federal lawsuit, which in part accuses Ramsey County of deliberate indifference to their duty to screen private vendors.
There's some serious allegations on the line, and they're against you.
Just 8 months before Danielle was put in that van, another ISC guard named Marius Nesby was arrested in Illinois for a rest stop bathroom sex assault.
So was it out of your pants?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also an extensive history of ISC being sued by women, accusing their guards of molesting them. Yet, Ramsey County kept giving ISC tax dollars to transport inmates with no evidence they bothered to ensure the company followed their contract's basic safety precautions.
They are feeding these women exactly into that situation where it's a lamb to slaughter.
KARE 11's investigation has, to date, tied ISC and its guards to 21 sex assault allegations, where there's already been a conviction, a lawsuit, or federal charges.
They were sodomized. They were raped at gunpoint. They were deprived of basic human rights.
Megan Curtis is another of Danielle's attorneys suing ISC and Ramsey County. In court filings, the county denied responsibility.
They have a responsibility, not only legally, morally, to transport these women safely.
This is probably just scratching the surface. There's probably many other victims out there.
Danielle learned she wasn't alone when the FBI came calling. According to a federal criminal case brought earlier this year in New Mexico, Inmate Services Corps guard Marquette Johnson is suspected of sexually assaulting at least 15 women he transported, some at gunpoint.
And he pretty much grabbed me by the back of my head.
One of the other victims, Dabrielle Dixon, listed in federal records by her initials, DD, was being transported from Chicago to Des Moines for writing bad checks when she was attacked.
I didn't fight back because, like I said, I'm handcuffed. I'm in the bathroom. I'm far from home. So I just did it.
Our investigation finds there's evidence that ISC knew that Johnson was accused of acting inappropriately with women in his care, but left him on the job.
In March of 2019, a pregnant woman transported from Indiana to the Hart County Jail in Munfordville, Kentucky, filed this written complaint with the jail. It claims Johnson pawed at her, rubbing her belly, saying he'd never been with a pregnant girl. Records show when the FBI served a search warrant here at ISC headquarters, they found the complaint. We wanted to know why company owner Randy Cagle allowed Johnson to keep on transporting women. He never responded to our attempts to contact him, so we knocked on the door of his Tennessee home. We were greeted by a Doberman.
I'll leave my card here at the door.
A few minutes later, the phone rang.
I need to notify you I'm recording this phone call.
Write this down, record it, whatever the you need to do.
Cagle offered up a profanity-laden tirade and threats.
When you were warned that Marquette Johnson was misbehaving with women, what did you do?
You come and warn me. How about that?
But no answers.
When you were warned that he was misbehaving with women in your care, what did you do?
Our investigation finds at least 11 women report being sexually assaulted by Johnson after that complaint was made. Danielle included.
Inmate lives don't matter. We just don't matter. We're just a number.
Ramsey County is no longer using ISC for inmate transports. They stopped in 2020 after another woman was raped by an ISC guard. The company now appears to have gone out of business as lawsuits mount. In those lawsuits, owner Randy Cagle has claimed all his employees are trained on a zero tolerance policy for sexual assault. And guys, as we started investigating this, we found this is much bigger than Ramsey County. The blind eye got turned all the way up the food chain to the Department of Justice and Congress. We're going to have that part of our story tomorrow at 10:30 or at 6:30 and 10.
Wow.
All right, more to come. Thank you, AJ.